Hello to everybody watching and listening, and welcome back to Mechabellum. It's been kind of a split week as far as my success playing has gone. I went up all the way to knocking on the door of, if I am not mistaken, 1700 MMR. I should remember to throw that number in here. And this was a match against somebody who, if memory serves, was 1800 and change in MMR. Mr. Tuma Sisalta, however you are supposed to say that. Anyway, let's get the initial deployment out of the way. I'm fighting against crawlers and stormcallers, and I'm playing as lead specialist, grabbing some Arclights in order to get his crawlers out of the way so that my crawlers can push onto his remaining units. Come on. Can I not get this at one point? Oh, well, there it goes. What was the big difference? Well, I kind of released the left mouse button and dragged it again. Who cares? Anyway, he's getting some marksmen, which are not particularly known for being good against crawlers. Unless, I guess, you stack loads of assault marksmen. The fight is, like, this is a really solid positioning, I think. The shots from the Stormcrawlers are barely clipping the Arclight, but the Arclight is in the fight. My crawlers are advancing quite smoothly, and it's not exactly looking good for my opponent just yet. Yeah, now the Arclights come under fire. One of them goes down on this side, the other one... Is it gonna go down? No. That is a lot of XP that the opponent is not getting. Round 2. We have Missile Strike, Senior Manufacturing, Wasp Swarm. All of these, I think, are viable options, depending on what you want to do, but we're probably not going to be stacking Giants as a lead specialist unless we get to, like, round 10. My opponent is skipping. I'm picking the Missile Strike because, well... I think I'm placing it, like, here. No, I'm putting it on the other side. Why am I? I'm wavering a bit. I'm repositioning it a bit. My opponent is getting some tanks in front, which I think is a decent choice against what I have right now. I'm dropping some more Arclights, because, well, I like carry Arclights. And Arclights are probably going to be good against whatever he may pick. In this case, tanks, not bad whatsoever. So his entire support back here has been annihilated. It's looking better here for him. But we'll see if it's going to look good enough to win, because this side is doomed. I would not have had any defense against Wasp Swarm, but honestly I think Wasp Swarm, near the end of the match, or the second time it comes around, maybe even the third time it comes around, it just sucks. I'm not really pushing through here all that much. My crawlers are still distracting the marksmen. But all of this is not good against what he has here. There's one heroic tank that is going through and trying to do whatever it can. Yeah, just the added tanks are great value. I'm advancing under Stormcaller fire, but now it's nerfed Stormcaller fire, and that means my units can destroy a lot of stuff. And even so, it comes down to a few remaining units. Okay, what do we have? Well, we have a level on the Stormcaller. On the Stormcaller that actually got to play last round. I'm picking Smoke, because Smoke is just really good, and it's not all that high as far as cost is concerned. And my opponent is picking the Shield. Now, he's putting the shield here to help these tanks survive. And what am I doing other than, of course, the smoke here? I am dropping some wasps here. Because what does he really have against wasps? He has these fangs, but they are new, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they have no XP, so they are new, definitely. And I'm thinking, whatever he might do, he could also smoke me and all that sort of stuff. Having some wasps is probably not a bad idea. Let me speed this one up. And then I'm dropping more Arclights. And I think if you're seeing more than, say, 6 Arclight levels in total, I'm also putting a shield down because, well, might as well try to shield against something if it comes down. So the Wasp back here, hopefully helping to push through. On this side, nothing really changed other than he has some additional chaff here, which probably means that I'm going to... Oh yeah, and the shield here, which means that I should be losing this side this time around. This shield here was just in case he wanted to drop some smoke. I was kind of gambling on this side if he even did it at all. So, this side has gotten annihilated mostly, but the Arclight is still putting in whatever work it can find. Marksman's not gonna cut it against this many Wasps. They are pushing through, destroying the last bit of anti-air, and that's it for the round. The tanks are a bit annoying, but, well, they are no longer dangerous. Come on, give me. Thank you. 1.0. Reinforcement time. Looking at these options, I'm not even sure I remember what I picked. If I had to guess, either the Mustangs or the Rhinos. I'm not even sure what my opponent picked. Anyway, I'm picking the Rhinos. I guess I wasn't much of a fan of Mustangs into tanks and into Stormcallers. Both players going into selling the Rhinos. I like to put my Rhinos like back here, so that if the enemy drops Rhinos, they can defend the flank. Also, I'm putting one Rhino up here in order to bait Stormcaller shots. Rhinos are pretty good at that. Arclight range is coming down, and my opponent is putting more Marksmen down. Meanwhile, I'm just going crazy on Arclights, because why not? So he's going for anti-air, which absolutely surprised me. I guess he might have been, like, if memory serves, there was an Overlord that I could have picked. Maybe he's totally expecting that. But I'm not going for any air other than, of course, these Wasps. And they are mostly for distracting the Marksmen, which is now going to be, like, the Marksmen are going to be shooting the Wasps even more eagerly than usual, which means that they are actively worse at their job now, which is to kill these Arclights and tanks. And I guess the Rhinos as well. So Arclight range is coming down. I have some additional tanks of my own moving in. Tanks as in to tank damage. However, he has the superior DPS. And that means that I probably should have picked damage on these Arclights. Because right now everything here is just being pushed through with minimal resistance on my part. He has like an entire intact army here. Though I guess the same can be said for me. Towers are being traded. Unfortunately, my units are in the smoke that I created for myself. Tower debuff, very, very bad for me right now. I can at least get one Rhino down, but all in all, this was not the right upgrade, I have to say in retrospect, but I think what my opponent did was even worse. Because eventually I will want to go for Arclight range if I'm playing carry Arclights. Also no big surprise what happens here. Range on my part and my opponent's part. Well, duh. More Rhinos being sold for extra cash. Upgrades coming down, even on the Wasps. Charge shot is officially out. And I no longer have a lot of money. My opponent is putting down a missile here in order to defend the Rhino probably. But I'm not sure if that's the right choice either. These marksmen have leveled. He also leveled one of the Rhinos here. Missile is coming down here because I can no longer even kill these Stormcallers. And that is actually interesting. So heavy armor specialist plus 1 tier of defense enhancement just is enough to make level 2 Stormcallers immune to the 3000 damage missile strike. It's an interesting breakpoint. Probably not that insanely common, but I can see situations where it's useful. fight begins. Come on, give me the 1.0. Oh, why do you have to be so difficult? Anyway, this missile here being eaten by the Rhino. The level 3 tanks here tanking whatever they can. Rhino moving in, but it's got no chance against the level 2 Rhino here. And the Arclights aren't faring much better. I am doing a decent amount of damage to it, but I no longer have anything to really tank for it. The marksman just point blanks the thing. Tower goes down, but not much of a fight happening right now. There is some wasps who are going after the tower, and this marksman is not all that likely to take care of them. And again, okay, yeah, the Arclight is starting to snipe it from downtown. I'm losing a tower, but my opponent's tower debuff I think is going to be worse. Let's speed this one up. There's only a couple of fangs left to shoot up anyway, and those will not survive the carry Arclights.